Good evening, everybody. Welcome our viewers to VTV News. First, my name is Du. With my partner Mike, we'll bring you the news.
Today, we will see what is going on in the globe. UK startups begin to look vulnerable. The fact is that there are now several major corporations in the US and Asia with market values in the range of $500 billion and $1 trillion, and with hundreds of billions in the deployable cash reserves, as illustrated by Alphabet acquisition of the UK's DeepMind. These and others can simply buy any promising startup as an option on the future success. With a government devoid of an appreciation of the issues and mired in the swamp of a constitutional crisis, the UK is arguably now at its most vulnerable, even before Halloween. Next.
Death of Britain's pubs has been exaggerated. The disappearance of pubs reflected a number of factors. Among them, changing tastes in a younger generation of drinkers. On top of that, many pubs have to face the pressure of high business rates applied across the high street and beer duty. But while the number of pubs have fallen, those that remain are doing better than ever. According to the UK's Office for National Statistics, revenue per venue increased by 13% between 2008 and 2016. Therefore, one part of the country has seen no pub closures at all. In fact, within the hipster mecca of Hackney in East London, the number of pubs is rising. Moving on to news about Hong Kong.
Businesses have a duty to Hong Kong employees. Businesses need not engage in a war with China, but they must be sure not to abandon their principle or their duty of care to employees in placating Beijing. Both in public and private, they should demonstrate loyalty to Hong Kong's values. Those values include the right to freedom of speech and assembly, which are listed in the Basic Law. Businesses should try to have protests to a peaceful resolution, but not one that betrays Hong Kong itself. And two, do you know what is causing a controversial debate in Africa?
Well, yes. Brazil businesses are backing global criticism of Amazon wildfires. Leading Brazilian companies and trade groups have joined the global outcry over surging wildfires in the Amazon as fears grow that environmental crisis could hit businesses. Some of the fires are believed to have been started illegally by ranchers keen to clear land and who analysts say have been emboldened since the election last year of President Jair Bolsonaro, who wants to open the Amazon for commercial activity. Mr. Bolsonaro ordered local governments in the afflicted regions to take emergency action and sent the army to battle the blaze. The move, however, has done little to stem the tide of global discontent, with Brazilian businesses, many of which are at risk of boycott, joining the fray. Moving to the US news.
Washington and Tokyo reached deal on trade. President Trump said the US and Japan had reached a trade deal in principle that would pave the way for more US farm exports to Japan, while dropping the threat of increased US tariffs on Japanese cars. Mr. Trump said he expected the leaders to sign the deal next month, around the time of the United Nations General Assembly. If completed, the deal would be a victory for Mr. Abe because it would avoid new tariffs on cars and show his close ties to Mr. Trump. What's more,
investment by US companies belies Beijing trade disputes. Investments by US companies in China have grown this year despite the worsening trade war between Beijing and Washington, with American businesses lured by the country's expanding consumer market. US companies invested $6.8 billion into China in the first half of the year. Most of that total went into greenfield projects, such as electric vehicle maker Tesla's factory in Shanghai. The data underline the conflict between the strategy of many US businesses and the rhetoric of President Donald Trump, who on Friday said he had ordered the American companies to leave China. Next,
Indonesia selects Borneo site for new capital as Jakarta faces deluge by 2050. Indonesia has named a site in East Kalimantan on the island of Borneo as its new capital to replace Jakarta. Jakarta sits on swampland and is one of the fastest sinking cities in the world. The city also suffers traffic problems and severe pollution and will be overpopulated in the future. Meanwhile, East Kalimantan site had been chosen for several reasons, including the risk of natural disaster was minimal and the city is set up to address unequal wealth distribution between the island of Java. Finally,
store market lithium knocked by oversupply and cut in electric vehicle subsidy. The rise of electric car was once a boon for the lithium industry, which produces the critical raw material for all batteries used in the vehicles. But this year has been bleak. Prices for the core product, lithium carbonate, have sunk 13% according to Benchmark Mineral Intelligence, knocking profits for the largest producers and wiping out most of the share price gain since the start of 2016.
this is all for today. Thank you for watching. Once again, my name is Mike.
And my name is Tu.
See you next time.